Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to take a look at the 1943 United States quarters. We have the Philadelphia, the Denver, and the San Francisco. Put it on its edge and we see that it's a silver. Of course, in 1943 the quarters were still silver coins. It says United States of America at the top, E pluribus unum here, $quarter. And the mint mark would be right there. So we know this one is from Philly. And we know this one's in really good condition. If we look at the feathers on here, we see pretty good feathers, close to an MS65. But at an MS65, this would be worth somewhere between $60 and $100. We see we have a chopped leaf right there. So that may or may not affect the value. See how the leaf didn't quite go on there? And this was run-of-the-mill for 1943. The quarters got kind of short shrift. They were just trying to get them out. But this one with the shine on it and everything, it's not the shiny looking 1943 quarters we're looking for. It's any quarter that has what they call the double die obverse. The double die obverse, you can see it in God We Trust. We can see it a little bit in the date, and we can see it in the LI of Liberty. And if we push these way up, we can see that there's a little bit of extra material here on the edge of the L, but this is not the double die obverse. So the PCGS says if you can get a double die, in other words, a doubling of the letters or doubling of the date from 1943, even in an MS-12, a really, really, really worn coin, way worse than this, that's valued in the hundreds of dollars. Unfortunately, this one, as you saw when we just tipped it over, is not going to be the double die obverse because it's a Denver mint coin. From this one, they made 99.7 million. So almost 100 million. The Denver mint coin they only made, for D, they only made 16 million. If you can get this up into an MS65 though, just $40. It's not a hugely valuable coin. And finally, of course, they made them at the San Francisco Mint. You can see some nice colors on here, but a little worn. The San Francisco Mint in 1943, they made 21.7 million. It has a double die obverse too, though. So let's look for that. Often you can see a different tail on the T's. In other words, you come down and there's a little bit broken on the bottom on the T's. We don't see any of that. We don't see any extra there. And we do see this little tail here, but nothing extra even up there. If you get that, that's worth big bucks. But if you get this one here, it's worth probably $5 to $7. And finally, there's something they call the trumpet tail S. And at the bottom, it has this kind of funny little tail on it. But this is not that coin either. Here's another silver coin. Yes, I know it's a nickel, but this is a silver 1943 U.S. nickel. It's a Jefferson nickel. God We Trust in front of him, Liberty behind him. Nice star there. 1943. Has some lines across it. I'm hoping it wasn't washed, but even if it was, it's still a silver nickel because we see the big P for Philadelphia above Monticello. They made 3 years worth of silver nickels during the war, and this is one of them. So always look for these. And so 1943 had a silver nickel. 1943 also had a copper penny. Well, you say, of course it had a copper penny. Well, this isn't one of them. This is a steel penny because in 1943 the United States moved to making steel pennies so they could save copper for the war effort, but they made at least a couple copper pennies. And so if you can find the copper pennies, it's probably worth in the tens of thousands, if not more, maybe the hundreds of thousands. So if you're looking for these coins, this coin here is probably worth, $10, $8 to $10 for the S version. The Denver version's worth 5 to 7. This version here might be worth as much as 40 because it's getting close to an MS65. But what you really want to look for is those double die obverse coins from the 1943 quarters. All right, have a great day from DC Coin World International Coin Channel.